The question I would ask, Va was J.
Marikana.
Va was J. Where were you?
President Ramaphosa publicly confronts EFF's Malema. Israeli athletes are told they are welcome at the Paris Olympics. And profiting from a tragedy, the millions spent every month on water delivery to Hammanskraal residents. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton. Good to have you with us.
This is Eyewitness News.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has given EFF leader Julius Malema a dressing down in Parliament today, responding to debate on his opening of Parliament address. Ramaphosa has appealed to Malema to desist from personal attacks on him and his family. On Friday, Malema called Ramaphosa a wounded buffalo and said the ANC's partnership with the DA in the government of national unity is a sellout position. The president took umbrage at Malema labelling him an apartheid collaborator.
It's important, Honorable Malema, that as we debate, we should play the ball and not the man.
Lobby group AfriForum has approached the Constitutional Court in a bid to have former Western Cape High Court Judge John Hlophe kicked off the Judicial Service Commission. Earlier this year, Hlophe became one of the first judges in post-democratic South Africa to be impeached. This on the back of a Judicial Conduct Tribunal's finding that he was guilty of gross misconduct for attempting to improperly influence two Constitutional Court justices in 2008 in a linchpin appeal involving former President Jacob Zuma and his arms deal prosecution. In his new role as the MK Party's parliamentary leader, Hlophe has now been deployed to serve on the JSC, which is, among other things, responsible for recommending new judges for appointment to the bench.
AfriForum, in its papers, says it would be inappropriate that aspirant judges be assessed on their ethics, integrity and fitness for judicial office by John Hlophe against the backdrop of the findings against him. The group says this would undermine the credibility of the JSC and the integrity of the judiciary. It also says it is a problem that judges who would appear before him could wind up being involved in the inevitable reviews and appeals expected to follow once Jacob Zuma's criminal case is finally decided.
Residents of Hammanskraal will have to wait until September before they get clean drinking water. It has been more than a year since a cholera outbreak hit the Pretoria North town, leading to the deaths of 23 people in the area. As part of its 3-year plan to restore clean drinking water there, Magalies Water and the Tshwane municipality plan to install a portable water purification plant by March this year. The plant would have been able to provide about 40 megalitres of clean tap water to Hammanskraal every day.
Delays can happen in any project, but if delays happen due to incompetence or willfulness, then there is a blameworthiness. In this instance, because we're doing probably the biggest package plant that has ever been done in the history of the country, the delays were understandable.
In the meantime, the Tshwane municipality will continue to deploy water tankers in Hammanskraal at a cost of about 8 million rand a month. The defence in the Senzo Meyiwa trial has challenged cell phone evidence being led by the state by drawing a distinction between the device and an individual. The trial returned to court today after a 4-month recess. A forensic supervisor from Vodacom is back on the witness stand. It's already been highlighted by the state that the fact that a device has been placed at a certain location does not mean it was in the possession of its owner. During his cross-examination of Vodacom forensic supervisor Pinky Vaitillingham, the first accused lawyer, Tulani Mgomezulu, has reminded her of the fact that on the day Meyiwa was killed, Longwe Twala, one of the people who was in the house, was using his father Selo's phone.
It is highly possible that a cell phone is a record in somebody's name and be used by another person.
Action SA has announced it'll now work with the ANC in the city of Joburg on condition that Aljama's Kabela Gwamanda is removed as executive mayor. The party says it's not joining the ANC-led multi-party government, but will throw its weight behind the party on an, quote, issue-by-issue basis in the municipal council. The Joburg Crisis Alliance, a coalition of civil society organizations, including Outer, that have come together to highlight the decline and decay of the city last week, made a public call for the resignation of the mayor.
If we have proper leadership in place with proper consequence management, taking up action and ensuring that the right people are in the right places, serving the public properly, and there's no doubt that as a collective, citizens, business will definitely partner with strong leadership to turn the city around.
One of the most drama-filled US presidential elections has just got a whole lot more interesting. US President Joe Biden has dropped out of the race for re-election following weeks of speculation and concern over his ability to serve another term due to his old age. The 81-year-old announced through a letter that he'd no longer be in the running to become president when America votes in November. He's endorsed his vice president, Kamala Harris, to become the Democratic nominee. It's not yet certain who will take over his job.
I respect the decision that he has now made. Not an easy decision, but a decision that I know that he will have arrived at, taking into account the best interests of the American people. And I look forward to working with him for the remainder of his presidency.
Donald Trump said Biden was, quote, the worst president in the history of our country, unquote. And as Biden exits politics in Washington, D.C., Israel's leader, Benjamin Netanyahu, arrives to deliver a key speech. This as the military attacked the southern Gaza city of Khan Yunis today with intense shelling there. The French foreign minister has confirmed that Israeli athletes are welcome at the Paris Olympics and promised that security would be significant, defying a hard-left member of the French parliament who urged them to stay away. We're not staying away. We'll see you for more tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.